welcome. I am your host, Mr Addams. On tonight's video, we shall be discussing the Scottish urban legend of the Bean-Nighe. Let's begin. The Bean-Nighe, or also known as the Washerwoman, is a female spirit in Scottish folklore. She is regarded as an omen of death and a messenger from the other world. She is seen in places beside a stream or pool, washing the blood from the linen and clothes of those who are about to die. A better way to describe her would be that she is the Scottish version of an Irish Banshee. However, seeing the Washerwoman does not always mean death for the viewer. In some cases, it is reported that she has the powers of imparting knowledge of the future, or the granting of wishes if she is approached with caution. On the Isle of Skye, the Bean-Nighe was said to have a squat figure resembling a small, pitiful child. If a person catches her, she will reveal to him his ultimate fate. She answers all his questions, but he must also truthfully answer hers in return. If, however, the Bean-Nighe sees him first, then he will lose the use of his limbs. In Perthshire, she is described as small and rotund and dressed in green, and can be caught by getting between her and the stream. The Bean-Nighe is sometimes said to sing a mournful sound as she washes the clothing of someone who is about to meet a sudden death by violence. She is often so absorbed in her washing and singing that this is the moment that she can be captured. If a person can seize hold of her after a stealthy approach, then she will reveal who is about to die and also grant 3 wishes. One writer, Dorothy Haynes, tells a short story about the Washerwoman and a little girl called Mary. As Mary was walking home one day, she heard a splash clap from the river. She went down there expecting to find her mother washing clothes, but instead found a short woman with a weathered, mean face. She also noted that the woman had small, horrible feet grappling the ground, bare and webbed like a duck's. Mary ran home to her mother, who persuaded her to return to the site a few nights later and find out who the shrouds were for. Mary tried to sneak up on the Washerwoman, but as she approached her, the woman swung around and hit the girl with the shroud. Mary's legs were completely paralysed and she was left unable to walk. Her mother eventually found her and carried her home to await an even deeper tragedy. The story ends there, but it implies that the shrouds were for Mary herself, and the little girl will die. Another tale of her is from the year 1691. King William II demanded the clan leaders of the Highlands swear oath and prove their loyalty to him by January the 1st, 1692. Unfortunately for the Clan MacDonald, their chief, Alistair, was 2 days late and missed the deadline set by King William II. The king therefore decided that the MacDonald clan was to be made an example of, and on February the 13th, 1692, the MacDonald men, women and children were slaughtered in their sleep. Those who escaped ran for safety in the frigid mountains, most later to perish from the harsh winter conditions. It is said that members of the clan who ran for safety heard the Bean-Nighe's dreadful wail carried by the wind the night before. The others dismissed it as the piercing pitch of the winter winds. The legend of Ewan MacLeod tells that on the island of Mull he came upon her while she was washing his shirt in a stream. MacLeod wanted to know, of course, how he was going to die, and was lucky enough to know the correct procedure for procuring such information from her. She warned him that he would only meet his doom if he did not receive an unsolicited piece of butter from his wife at breakfast the next day. Ewan, assured he would be fine, went home to bed. The next morning at breakfast, his wife announced that he should have only dry bread, as they had ran out of butter. The omen had been correct, and Ewan MacLeod's head was chopped off in a clan feud later that day. There is nothing to suggest that the Washerwoman causes the death of a person whose shroud she's washing. Like the Banshee, she is merely the messenger. Still, people fear to come across her, and usually keep walking if they hear unusual sounds coming from nearby waters. So a little word of warning for anyone who might be alone and near a river or a stream. Keep an eye and an ear out for the Washerwoman because she might just end up being the last person you ever see. I've been your host, Mr Addams. Good night.